Not all reeds are made equal. There are some with potential, some that are bad, and some that are worse. If we don't manage how we work in a new reed, it can take even a decent reed and turn it into something that's quite awful to play. When reeds are new, they're completely dry. We know that reeds need moisture in them to vibrate uniformly. That is, to prevent squeaking. The fibers of our reed are like a bundle of straws. These straws draw in moisture and swell. The problem is they don't all swell by the same amount. The fibers push against each other and the shape changes. The reed becomes warped. Reeds vibrate best when the flat side is completely flat. Warping will be most noticeable at the tip of the reed. What was once aligned and flat will become wavy. I'm going to show you the method to treat reeds to prevent warping. We'll also discuss the best way to work in reeds to get the most amount of quality playing out of them. We'll cover how to rotate your reeds and the benefits of this. And finally, discuss when the best time is to start working in new reeds. Much of the information in this video was taught to me by my university clarinet lecturer, Robert Schubert. Robert, if you're watching this, thanks for putting up with me. This is the method to treat new reeds to prevent warping. We'll go through the whole method, then explain how it works at the end. Whenever you get a new box of reeds, use this method for the entire box, even if you only plan on playing just a few. The first step is to create a mountain of plastic by unwrapping all of your reeds. Now, I've got a shot glass, or a small cup would work, filled with water to half the length of the reed. We're going to carefully put all of the reeds tip side first into the cup, being careful not to break them. The reed will draw moisture up through its fibers, and you'll see the butt of the reed become dark with moisture. Once the entire butt is dark, take the reed out and wipe off any excess moisture well. This is a really important step to prevent mold from forming. Some reeds, you won't see the butt fully moistened no matter how long you leave it. After about 5 minutes, take these out.
5 minutes later.
If you look closely here, you can see that most of these reeds, the butt has fully moistened. However, this one doesn't show any signs of drawing the moisture all the way up to its end. Next, you want to find a flat surface. Anything glass-topped or reflective, like a TV stand or a coffee table, works. I've used my iPad in the past, and I'll demonstrate with it today. Make sure your surface is clean, and lay your wiped down reeds flat side down with some space in between each one.
Later.
Finally, we're going to put a hardcover book on top, then stack other books on until the pile is at least 20 centimeters high. Once we've done this, we're going to leave it for 24 hours. What we're doing is fully hydrating the reed, which will cause it to warp. Gradually, it'll dry to a natural room level of moisture, with the books pressing it down, which will reflatten them. The result is a flat reed that has a nice level of moisture throughout it. If you live in an extremely dry climate, you might want to get these reeds packed into an airtight container or bag before the 24 hours has passed. From here, your reeds are ready to be worked in. Start out by playing your new reeds for no more than 2 minutes. Although your reeds have a good level of moisture in them, they're still susceptible to absorbing more, swelling, and warping. They'll become more resistant to this over time as debris and body oils from your mouth and lip will block the exposed ends of the fibers and make it more waterproof. Yum. There's a method from the dark arts of clarinet playing where you take some body oil from your forehead or your ear and you rub it into the cut side of the reed, thus making it more waterproof. I personally don't find this necessary, but perhaps I just have a commitment issue when it comes to reeds. With each subsequent play on different days, you can add 1 minute of playing. Once you've done this 5 times, your reeds will be good to go. When you're working in reeds, avoid playing anything above the clarion register. So this is anything above the high C, that's the back hole, and the register key. Also avoid playing any multiphonics or other extended techniques. The reed needs to get used to vibrating uniformly. Great material to work reeds in with are scales. It's a good challenge to get these more resistant reeds vibrating with a full sound. Use a generous stream of air and allow it to vibrate freely with an unrestricted embouchure. Remember to switch reeds every few minutes until you've worked through all of the reeds you're currently working in. You should always have at least 3 reeds in your rotation. That means you use a different reed each time you play. The easiest way to keep track of this is to use a permanent marker and just number the reed cases. A reed case like this can be particularly helpful for keeping track of which one you're up to, especially if the positions are numbered. Having multiple reed options helps us in the situation where one of your reeds breaks or starts to run out of life. My lecturer used to say, never trust a clean reed. This is because new reeds are particularly susceptible to randomly squeaking. You should never play a performance or even a lesson on a brand new reed. Extended playing on a reed that isn't fully worked in can shorten its lifespan and quality. Of course, this also gives us more options when it comes to picking the best reed for an important performance. Being able to play on a variety of reeds will build up your own flexibility and increase your ability to sound good and do what you need to do on any reed. At a high level, this can even prevent your mood and self-esteem from being governed by how good or bad your current batch of reeds are. For beginner students, 3 reeds in a rotation would be enough. But if you do a lesson each week or play in an ensemble, you'd want at least 4. At my peak amount of playing, I was burning through a rotation of 12 reeds in just over a month. To know when we need to start working in new reeds, we need to understand the life cycle of our reeds. Reeds start off hard to blow through. Then as we work them in, they soften up and reach a nice level of resistance. They'll continue like this for a while. Then, after a few weeks of playing, they'll start to become softer, but also less able to vibrate. This is the point where you want to smash them and throw them out. It takes about a week of playing to work in a new batch of reeds, so ideally you want to start working in reeds at least a week before your current batch are set to fall off. This will prevent you from having periods where you have no good reeds to play on, limiting your potential on the instrument. There is nothing worse than having to play a tricky piece or big performance on a reed that is running out of life, as I can personally attest to. That's all for today. If you have any questions or requests for future videos, let me know down in the comments. A tonguing video is in the works, so keep your eyes peeled for that one. I've been Andrew from Clarinet Essential Technique. Happy practicing.